Lisa.
Hello, how you doing? This is the Playground Experience. Here we have my co-host April Williams and Kathy D. Yay! So today we are talking about anything you want to talk about, whatever you like, whatever you want. What could it be that easy when we say whatever you like? Oh, you all probably come up with no. I see you all standing like where to begin. I don't know. What do I like? Maybe that henceforth is the problem. We should automatically know what we want and what we like. With these energies, I can understand that because sometimes what you like today might not be what you consider to want tomorrow. So consider yourself excused. How about that? Both of us are teachers. We'll give you excuse for that. But let's see what's going on with the energies. Well, I've been sick. My body has been telling me about some things that I need to deal with that I have not dealt with, which is again the power of communication. And what else did it come up with me when I sat down there? We said the power of communication and the weather, which is also I connected to a past life. One time I talked about that and how life is hard. And I had some kind of incident that happened with me in the cold. And every time the cold comes, it triggers my body to go into this like defensive mode because it didn't like a certain incident that happened in that past life. So what I'm trying to do is to tell myself again, I'm safe because again, whatever it is that it has to do, I know what it is. It's something about power. It has to do with voice, and it has to do with me also being out there making a choice and being there for people and rallying for other people. And it happened, whatever happened, it happened in some cold time because each time I have that, I looked it up for sinuses. It says it means for agitation with people. People agitate me, rub me wrong way. Like I'm allergic. I'm allergic to people. So I've got to learn how to be able to embrace that. So something's going on now in this life that has to do with protecting others. I know what it is, and it has for me to do about me standing in my power and giving voice to that. So that is an issue. Hey, Steffi. So that is an issue in which, like we said earlier, the universe has been saying that all along, where I can't push it to the side and say, oh, I don't see it, I don't see it, I don't see it. I cover my eyes, but I still see it. And so this is something that my body's like, you know what? You might not notice it, but we're going to bring it to your attention because we're going to make you lose your voice. So now what you're going to do? So that is where I am right now with the energies and really having the self-discovery to say, sit down and say, okay, what are you trying to say to me? What do I need at this time as well? Some other interesting things been popping up as well, seeing people's names and stuff, which I had to sit down and really see what did this person want because they kept on every hour and hour and they were getting more desperate and desperate. And I was like, okay, what I got to do? So these things that are coming up now for us is coming with this sense of urgency. It's like, look at me now, damn it, over here, right here, eyeball to eyeball. Where the hell? No, I'm not over there. I'm right here. Look,
Mm-hmm.
and so this is where we are right now. Pay attention to me, damn it. That's the name of this title. No,
It is exhausting too. And it feels like there's a lot of things pulling for that attention, but it's
yes.
all about like discernment and what is actually in flow because there's this whole sloughing off. I'm laughing because I I did some crazy energy work. So I did this like sloughing off of this ideas of things that were not in the vibration that I wanted them to be. So I kept them there for a while, and then they started showing their little face, his little face. Ooh. And it was not, certain things weren't working. Impatience, you can't have impatience right now. Like it's literally showing you, okay, you're gonna wait. You want this, you're gonna wait. But we're gonna show you that you can instantly manifest. But we're gonna also show you that you have to wait for certain things because you have oscillating emotions around certain topics. And until we get into that space of being more singular as well as not attached. It's really, really, it's like it's not walking on eggshells exactly, but that's kind of what it feels like, because there's a sense of nervousness and not knowing exactly what's going to happen. You can feel, for those who can intuit and have like psychic and all of that good stuff, you can intuit and feel into the, okay, it's going to be awesome, but I don't know how it's going to be awesome because I'm right in the thick of it, right? So there's no spiritual bypassing, there's going through the process step by step, and really just remaining steadfast and consistent. And I found that I've been challenged with continuously believing in myself and my dreams, right? That's the challenge, right? Because I want to succumb so much to the previous of, oh, I'll just do this to somebody else's whim, or I can do this for somebody else's liking. But now it's not even about anyone else, it's about my pleasure, about my understanding of my experience, and how to spread that joy of love and life through others. I've also felt a huge shift in my power. It's gotten stronger. Like, the gifts have gotten way stronger. I was doing energy healing on myself and recording it for others, right? Using my body as proxy. I shan't do this anyway. I'm just going to teach the methodology, because I I was doing a womb healing and clearing and showing others through this video in preparation for my book launch, which is going to come out in a couple weeks. Hopefully sooner. My goal is to get it out by Black Friday because I'm black, you know. but doing the energy work on myself and showing this, it amplified it, because not only was I working through myself, I was working energetically through the others who are going to be watching this video and who are going to be tuning into the energy. So I wanted to make sure that their energies were on, right? So I can feel multiple timelines, multiple people. All of a sudden, it's feeling like electricity is flowing through my fingertips. And I'm like, okay, now you just start sweeping the womb and clear it. And now start to see that. And then what? The next day, I sure enough started my period, but had forgotten, because you know how you get that fatigue when you start your cycle and you're just like, what is happening? Why did I start my cycle right now? And I'm trying to come up with every other reason. And it's like, we're in the middle of a moon. Like, what is this? Oh, because you were doing that energy work. Don't forget that you're powerful. Don't forget that your words are powerful. Don't forget that your emotions and however you're doing your ceremony, a little goes a long way. You are so potent that a little goes a whole lot farther than you think. But the whole key is to ride that and allow it to become, not second guess yourself and go back and forth and, start determining your worthiness and XYZ, because you slow the progress of what it is that you're actually going for, which is your heaven on earth, which is your manifestation of this Aquarian age. And all of us are going through it. Some of us are in different parts of the process, but 5D here, baby. 5D not going nowhere. 11D is coming in right now too, which is really interesting, because people are starting to shift into talking about the sixth and the seventh dimension, the eighth dimension, when we're going more into a unity style consciousness. But 11D is tapping right into people. And so when you want to get into that, like the angelic realm and working with the guides, are thick. Like, I was like, did somebody just touch my shoulder? Halloween is over. I didn't know the portals were. I was like, people were watching me sleep last night on 11/11, and I was like, okay, this is cool. Whoever's here, as long as you're working with the light and working with harmony and sacred law, we're good. But if you're not, you are banished from this space. And it was nice to be able to um, have that assurance and feeling the power of me setting the boundary. So I do feel some balance of the masculine coming in and within myself. And so that was really, really amazing. Speaking of masculines, guess who's here, people? Drum roll. Oh, cha. We got that Foxy DM over there.
Y'all want a little fur? Y'all want some fur for your nerves? It's
Meow.
funny. Count me out. You're a hairless type, Kathy D. You like a smooth chat. A smooth,
Yeah.
really.
Mm-hmm.
Lord have mercy. I
It
don't know if I
seems
can
like she would like
co-sign
a good teddy bear. A little
Mm-mm.
snuggle.
No, the X's. Mm-mm.
Oh.
Yeah,
that.
no.
Yeah, you gotta get that. You gotta get that. You gotta cough up that hairball, huh?
Yeah,
Face
no.
down.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Well, to each their own, Kathy D. Much love to all you ladies. How are we doing tonight?
Doing good.
Doing okay. Trying to find my voice. I already did found a missing person for it.
You filed a Mr. In Person report for your voice.
Yeah, my
Lord have
voice. Yeah,
mercy.
yeah.
I'm still singing me
Your
a nice Eiffel Tower, if you know what I mean. Freaky Friday edition.
Eiffel Tower. I was just talking about H claps the other night. You know what I'm saying? Are we gonna go there tonight, Miss April? You still in heat over there in Hawaii?
No, not in heat, but I am
She's in
so hot.
humidity.
Yeah.
That's true. I'm so hot right now. I don't even understand. Yeah, so
We
I'm
would.
dead. She said it's not the heat, it's the humidity. That's what Kathy D said.
Yep.
That's what Kathy D said.
and it is
When
hot
when
and sticky over here.
Yeah.
woo, when is Amy getting a sibling, honey? I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that coming through something wicked. So
Mm, time will tell, but
okay.
I'll let you know if I Freaky Friday edition.
Uh,
Freaky every day of
I,
the week. Who am I kidding?
hey, if the shoe fits, wear it. Okay. If the steel panties fit, wear them. Okay.
Whew, that's the
And if
only
they
thing that's
don't,
gonna stop
and
me
then if they
now.
don't, then don't. Okay. What did y'all bring me on to talk about? I can't remember.
We didn't have any topic. We were just free flowing and just talking, just getting other different kind of perspective. We was talking about how the energy's been flowing for us right now, how it seems like in some ways that you can't surpass it or try to go or circumvent it and try to go around it. Is these energies are forcing you to really take place as to it's in your face. Like, damn it, I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
You see me, damn it. You got to deal with me, damn it. You can't go around me. So this is where we are. We said with the energies. That's what I said. They also co-signed on it too. I'm not out there by myself.
And then
So April was talking about
talk.
she's more standing in her power now. She can feel that she's becoming one with it as well. And then we was about to turn it over to Kathy D to see what was going on with her. She was next.
Well, like with the energies that I've noticed is especially you're going to have two different kind of camps right now. You're either going to have the ones that are feeling really just overall heavy, and that's where there's lots of little triggers popping up, and then there's going to be those of us that like, and this is a horrible analogy, but it's exactly what I think of. When they used to throw the big bales of pot out in the ocean and they would wash up on the shores of the Florida Keys, they would throw them out and the pressure would take them under the water, and you would just wait and watch for them to pop up. And that's just kind of like the way these triggers are coming up. I mean, you can't hide from them. You can't avoid them. They're right there and they're coming up with force. And it's a lot of the stuff that, we're getting down to not as much the stuff that was stuck on the inside of the coffee pot, but that stuff we've been scratching at that was actually on the bottom of the coffee pot that we really didn't want to deal with. We were just hoping it was going to just fall off. So I'm seeing lots of that. But then I've also, like April was saying, with the power, manifesting. Oh dear Lord, just the slightest thing through my mind and it was happening. And then so I was like, okay, wait a minute, I gotta hone this in. I gotta, and so I started thinking, I'm gonna get a text from the DM. I'd get up that morning, I'm, getting ready for school and everything. Sure enough, morning, how's it going? Thinking about you. Great. Want to talk? Sure, let me drop the girls off. And it was every morning this week.
Yeah, I think this week the communications has been extremely like thin. Like I could sit and think and say or have a conversation, a dialogue with the D in my head, and the next minute he's, hey, you, oh, okay. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that communication has been, if you're in communication with the person, that's been extremely thin. Now they just corrected me. They said correction. It's been thin 3D and it's been thin 50. So you got to kind of watch it too with the dialogue. They just correctly like, no, it's been both ways.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's that goes back to what April was talking about, these other dimensions opening up as well. Well, we knew it was open again for November the 1st because that's already when you start Halloween, it opens up the portal for the other side and us energies. But it looks like again, and I'm in agreement with April, they lingered a little longer than the usual. I think because they said it's needed. Plus, we're getting near the holiday time. It's kind of again, I'm thinking that they're probably bringing in extra light during this time because already the media, and I'm just gonna keep it plain, is already putting out there this thing about it's not gonna be enough food. Uh, you know,
Yeah, there weren't going to be enough turkeys. Now
there
they're
ain't
not going
gonna
to be
be
enough
enough.
Christmas trees.
Now and the Christmas trees. Okay, so now you're already circumventing with this doom and gloom. You're bringing the vibe down low. So, because I got to start thinking about that, is it not enough? And you got to start thinking, well, source will supply. But for some of those, it's a little hard for you to come out of that because, again, also we haven't been in this for a while. Some of us been looking for it for the longest to be able to go and reach out and touch a loved one. And now you put on this doom and gloom. It's like, okay, do I ever get freedom from this? Is there ever a light at the end of the tunnel? And so that brings on an extra thing. So I think this is why it's nothing. I watched this human resonance lady, Susan Inspired, and she talks about how the energies are showing through the resonance that they're sending in like secret weapon. Well, they're not secret weapon, like the powers of being. I didn't retitle it because everybody put the powers of be for the government. But the powers of beings, because we are spiritual beings, they are coming to our rescue and our aid. They're showing up. Like, okay, I'm watching you as you go to sleep. Or I'm hearing things turn on, ancestors are kicking in. Like we're gonna give you that extra boost or that extra surge in power of you standing in your power. That's gonna give you that extra boost of that light to kind of anchor it up a little bit because you already got this other stuff that's going on. The interesting thing that they're trying to let everybody from ages 0 to whatever to sign on to. So you got a lot of things that's in the mix that is asking for this, like they haven't been sitting on the bench, but we've been putting on the bench because we haven't asked for them, or they're just coming in and say, hey, the source then gave us the okay. Rather you ask for us or not, we here because we got to help raise the frequency, get
Mm-hmm.
that good ass product. But anyway, so that's what we here. That's what it's all about. And so you're going to get some extra players on your team here that you're like, okay, I don't feel like I'm alone. And I feel like it's a little extra heavy in the room. So if you got that extra sensory, that is why that's going on. They just challenge that to me.
Yeah,
Hey,
I think we're also going to start seeing, and we're going to see a lot more in the form of like earth angels. I know I've been watching it with my kids, and it's hilarious. I mean, really and truly, I have these big, huge football players come charging down the hall, and they grab me and they pick me up and they spin me around. And they say, "You look like you needed a hug, miss. And if you didn't, save it till you did." And it's like, okay, and it's just little things like that. Just those the little nods, the smiles, when it's
Kids are
connecting.
coming in clutch. The kids are coming in
They
super
are.
clutch
They
right
really
now.
are. And especially, it's really funny because especially I'm seeing it a lot with the seniors. So these are 17, 18-year-olds. But then also with the juniors, and something that Helen had told me was she said she's really started going back into her meditation now. You know how it is, mom, you can't say anything. It's got to be somebody else's idea. So, but she's actually been really meditating on being able to handle change and understanding that everything doesn't revolve around her, and how to handle things that seem like a disaster to her is actually a blessing to others, and like bigger ideas about the world. And those are what she's been meditating on, and she says she's really been feeling a difference. So the
That's
kids are really
great.
coming in, and those earth angels are definitely coming in.
I've been having it's interesting because I purposefully don't look at the news, right? Because I know right now that it's really just it's all run by specific corporations, and it's where it's funded for it to be skewed in a certain way. And I know this ever since, being black and everything. What they do to our culture in the media. What happened? They be killing black people, and that's all they talk about. We getting killed and we criminals. You know what I mean?
I
I'm just
said
gonna
you're
leave it alone.
black. When did that happen? That's all I said. Go.
Oh. Now let me just pull my chair. Let me just pull my Cherokee out of some naps. All right.
Wow.
So
The shade is real.
the shade is real though. Actually, it's interesting because any real shade, any stuff that's coming in on the side, it's like it doesn't actually. It's water off a duck's back, and that's interesting because the way I was conditioned in this life up until recently, that would always have affected me and wanting to like seek the approval, but that just went out the window. Now
Mhm.
it's a matter of me accepting myself as I am, where I am, and what's going on, and then allowing myself to have more and better. Because you can, especially all of us empaths, we can feel all the people and the energetics of the lack and so on and so forth. But it's like, what is actually sustainable? Oh, I can't have, all this stuff that I shouldn't have really had that access to anyway. That's fine. But everything I need is provided for. In fact, it's more than provided for. I'm very comfortable, but it's interesting because the mind is searching for the lack when there isn't. So I've had to go through this whole like, it's okay. You're actually fine. You're actually doing way better than you think you are. You just need to allow yourself to open into more. Just because somebody tells you that it's not going to work that way doesn't mean it can't work that way for you, right?
Right.
So allowing yourself to be the exception and be the oddity in your beauty, your grace, your spirituality. Most people can't do this type of energy healing. Well, guess what? I'm doing it. It happened. It's done. You felt it. You experienced it. You can't deny it. I'm not denying it. And here we go. Now what? Now that we know that everything that we were told is kind of a lie and was a limiting factor, what's the next stage? Oh, just what you think is possible is your limiting factor. Now, how do you open into that? Now I got a musician over here. He's starting his own band. You hear that? He did it himself. He's got it. Oh, I mean, part of that is music, but anyway, the kids are fun. He says it's time to jam. It's time for mom to start performing again. Here we go. Let's get out there.
I'm trying to remember that quote that I heard or I seen by somebody, and that's like, I want to remember and say, just on the other side of fear is the very thing you're supposed to be doing, or the very thing that makes you great. Was that what kind of reminded me of what you had said there? Just pushing past it. I'm in agreement with you saying about what's occurring as far as us. I forgot it just that day. Go quick. Where did it go? Because I was just trying to strain my brain to come up with where that quote came from, and like, am I saying it right? Uh, it'll come back to me. I don't know where it went to. It went off somewhere. It just said, and it just went away because I got to use the washroom. Okay, what's happening with you, Sean? Sean's laptop.
Sean's laptop. To be perfectly honest, I'm on top of the world. So I'm doing a lot of listening to you ladies right now to sort of figure out what's going on the feminine side, because it seems that I think maybe I went through this triggering intensive moment like from late September through most of October on the male side. and now like I feel like a king among men, like literally. I'm in retention. I am in persistent divine power and up level divine power. I Everybody on this call knows what I'm talking about when I say my manual, right? My
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
manual is the exoteric implement, and just within the past few days, I have downloaded the esoteric implement that addresses the same issue from both sides, and they're complementary, but they're also they both also stand alone. So for the people who are secular materialists and are not ready to come out as far as where we are, they've got the exoteric option. And then for the people who are not ready to wake up to know that they need to do something in the exoteric, just as April was saying, I don't need to ask your permission to do what I'm going to do to bring you into New Earth. I do not require your consent. And the reason why I don't require your consent is that everyone who made that decision did so under a false pretense and did so as a declaration of their intention to live and to join us in New Earth. And therefore, the permission is already granted. So, guess what? I am unleashed. I was in self love all day today. I got off work early because the universe wanted me to have a day. I got to dance and play around for a few hours. I went and saw Dune, which was awesome, by the way. And I did a fantastic energy healing right before the call. Now I'm chowing down on my Chick-fil-A and listening to three beautiful divine women give their account. But I feel like King Among Men. I have accepted my authority. I have accepted that, in fact, I did pay my dues in this lifetime as well as other lifetimes. I'm entrusted with this for a reason, and it is my duty, but my effortless duty, to perform to the power and be everything I was created to be. And I am no hold. I am on the other side, honey. I have faced Voldemort. I have faced Voldemort, and I have stared him down, and I have come back through on the other side, and there is no stopping me now. So that's where I am. Okay, I was done, but somebody else wants to talk.
So
We were just basking in the glory on that one. Hold on a minute.
It's
and
clapping in
Oh,
silence.
okay. Take a moment.
that
Take
kind
a
of
moment.
balance
Take a
it.
moment. But that's me. That's where I am.
Okay, Mimi's giving
So,
you this too. She giving you the hand.
oh, Mimi's
Over there
giving
in
me
the
the hand.
sunshine.
Thank you, Mimi. See you
In the
Monday,
lounge.
Mimi. See you Monday.
Oh,
Hmm?
And
so
so, like, the balancement you're talking about as the feminine, I I'm starting to allow myself to be supported, right? I'm allowing the universe to give me what I desire. I don't have to work hard for it. I know it wants to give it to me. Now it's a matter of, I get to let down those layers, those guard layers. Like, we hold up this flagship within the feminine and the divine feminine community as we're the leaders. We got to do this, right? But part of that has made us want to close down, right? And so I'm now saying, okay, I see you support me. Okay, I'm going to put my trust in you and walk a little bit further. And it feels sometimes a little blind, but I feel like it's okay. Like, I feel safe in it. Versus before, I had to kind of know which way everything was going to come in order for me to feel safe accepting it. But it's like, nope, it's powerful now. Just let it be. Oh, you're getting guided this way? Go ahead and go that way. You don't have to rationalize it or reason it. It's time to have fun too. And that's what something keeps coming up for us. It's allowing ourselves to have fun. Because I want to take myself so seriously, like that's going to get me to the goal. But it's the having the fun part that makes it come in with that higher vibration. So I like that you said
yeah, we have a tendency to kind of forget, and that came out in today's reading with the healing place. They were saying what jumped off for me was the rush. What's the rush? You all are always so much in a hurry. You don't allow for you really to process. Even when you were saying it about the process of being happy about that, my dad always comes in from the other side and tells me that you're not enjoying. I don't know what you're doing, but you're not enjoying. You're taking everything is so serious with you. Which from a young age, I always couldn't laugh too much. My mom had to always remind you need to learn how to laugh at yourself, you know. And I've gotten better since then, but my thing is, I think even as us getting older, I was watching the show with Colin Kaepernick, and I've been really everything has been really been inspiring me. You hear me even talk about that on the podcast too as well. And I was going to do a topic on this called decision fatigue. I think we have, as Twin Flames, gotten kind of tired of making the decision to make the right decision, scared to make the wrong decision. What is the decision I'm supposed to be making? And sometimes when we get to that point, we get to the point that we are actually frightened or even paralyzed. That's the word. Thank you. For us to even do anything next. And I think that's where we're kind of seeing ourselves coming out towards the other end of the light. And while we're getting these extra pushes too, is because a lot of us has been in that continuous loop of that rabbit holing that we talk about, we joke about all the time, but it's some of us is seriously in that continuous loop, no matter who comes along. It don't matter if Archangel Michael come in this room right now with the sword and everything. That's nice, Michael. But like I said, in my head, I got this thought. And my everybody's like, what I make myself reveal to you for if you coming in here doing the same stuff. So it's some of us that has that still kind of continuously looping thing that's going on. And I think that's where we got that last stance off. It's like, let it go. What is it? Like they have in our MAT. What is it that you are valuing more than you letting go of that identity, to that thing that you keep on finding yourself perpetually gravitating to or holding on to? I think that's where we on this last little thing here, that we're still clinging on to life and say, but it gives me life. And at the same time, but it's giving me death. I'm tired of it. I'm fatigued of it. And no matter what is coming along, I think we still got to be honest with ourselves that it's still that thing there that we haven't reached and broke over to the other side, as Sean has, where he said, hey, I'm loving life. It's still, some of us is still a little bit like, I'm not quite there yet. And I think he's not the only one. I talked to the DM like that one day, and he sounded like he was feeling like, I'm like, who the hell? Who is this I'm talking to? You know, I don't feel that way. I said, but I'm not going to be no Debbie Downer to you. But on this end of the connection of us, my other self, I'm not feeling where you are. You know, where is you sipping from? I want the cup you sipping from. So, and then I could tell he genuinely was in that space, like where Shad was. And I'm like, I'm not there. You know, so it's some other things that I've got to go and visit to see, okay, what is it? I think right now, for some of us, we've got to visit, and they're bringing it to me, this dark hole. And what I mean by this dark hole is something about that, this sensational thing that still cannot be filled with whatever is going on. And it will never get us, it can be, but in our mindset, we can't get to where Sean is. Where he said, I'm happy about everything. So my thing is it doesn't matter because I'm tapping into somebody. It's like, oh, that's nice with Sean. And someone's like, I don't even know how to even resonate with that. I don't know who this is. I'm a little bit on that, but not all the way. But
so what I can say is,
couldn't resonate with it. It's like I don't even know what that is.
So feminine energy is very rhythmic, and I think masculine energy is more constant. So we start to look at the natures and the ebbs and flows of the ocean and how the moon has its cycle. You know, have you ever felt that before? If you could ask yourself if you've ever let yourself feel that, right? If you've ever felt it before, that's great, because that means you know how to, potentially your body knows how to have that vibration and hold it. Now, you may feel it, because I can feel that from time to time, but it has been fleeting because I haven't allowed it to stay
Mm-hmm.
because of fear of losing it in the first place, right? Which is kind of like, that's part of the reprogram. That's part of the system. So there's a couple different body hacks you can do. Like, you can yoni steam, you can meditate, but you have to train yourself, right? This is a muscle we're working. I think that men, and masculine energy throughout a majority of the time period that we're shaking off, they were allowed to feel that way. Women and feminine energy wasn't allowed to feel that. For survival, we had to predict and be on whatever the man's level was in order to make it work. But now we get to reclaim that. So if you can make it as part of your your self responsibility to allow yourself to feel freedom, to allow yourself to feel joy, to feel content, orienting. When you look around your room and you say, okay, I'm safe, I can do this right now, I'm in an okay place. That'll give you a space that allows you to feel that freedom. If you can then maybe even watch a funny movie and just have that moment where you're just full of laughter and you let yourself have that static energy for just a moment, then yes, you're tapping into that vibration. Now, you get to work the muscle so that it can become more consistent, but it does take a level of freedom and training. It's interesting because we're doing it in a controlled fashion, because feminine energy has had to have control for survival, right? You're not allowed to show you're smart, you're not allowed to show your power, you're not, blah 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 blah, old paradigm stuff. We're now shifting out of that, but we actually got to give ourselves permission over and over and over again. And I give you permission to let yourself feel joy.
Right.
I give you permission to let yourself feel safe, and even slough off the ideas or concepts that have been embodied that have kept you from allowing yourself to feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
It does take some vulnerability.
You're talking about working that muscle, and it's just like working out. It's, you do better also in a group. Sometimes you just don't have that motivation when you're just working out on your own. And it's easier and it's more fun when you work out with a group. And I think, like we were saying, instead of asking everyone else's permission or finding their approval, I've noticed more and more with myself before doing things, is this going to make me happy? Is this what I want? Not caring what, I mean, within reason. My children, I don't want to send them into some traumatic tailspin, but, the ultimately, is this going to make me happy? And then how will it affect my children? And I have found that probably one of the hardest things, especially being a teacher, especially when you teach older kids, is kind of letting loose and kind of cutting up and, being goofy with them, because you have to, keep that fine line of control in the classroom. And I've noticed that the more that I let loose and cut up more with them and kind of get to know their stories, and then they get to know mine. I've had kids come in this last week and ask me to, can you read my aura? And I'm like, there's a lot going on right now, and this would not be a good time to do. I mean, kids, I don't even teach, and I have my lunch group, and I love my girls, and there's like 8 of them, and they come in and with just different questions all the time, chakras or crystals or all of these things. And instead of saying, well, this is school, we really can't talk about these things, I'm like, okay, let's talk about it. This is life, and I'm not teaching you how to make drinks or anything, but let's talk about your chakras. Let's talk about how to meditate. Last week, big thing about they were all having this. There's one girl in the group, whenever they all get around and they all get queasy, her energy is so bad, they all just like feel like they're going to be sick. And finally, the one girl says, I don't know which one of you it is, but one of you is making me sick. And so I was like, well, let me teach you guys how to bubble up. And so I just real briefly taught them how to do it. And the next day they came in and they were like, I don't feel bad anymore. I don't feel bad anymore. But I guess the girl that was making everybody sick, when she bubbled up, she kept all that negative energy in there with her. And
Right.
she was like, I haven't been feeling so good. And they were all like, it was you. We knew it. So, but just being vulnerable with yourself, and that's the whole thing. We really, as divine feminine, we got to get out of our heads. And like Sean tells us all the time, we overthink, and just play, just go, be only concerned with, the only person you have to answer to is yourself, and the only person you have to compete with is yourself yesterday. So you know what, drop so much of that people pleasing, because 9 times out of 10 people aren't paying attention to you anyway.
Right.
So I've just found that has been like a big thing this week, is just getting in there and playing with the kids, and laughing, and goofing around. And you know I might get dirty looks from other teachers at pep rallies and stuff, because I'm goofing with the kids. But before it's all over with, I have a larger crowd of kids that are behaving and paying attention than some of the really strict ones. So it's just kind of like that Pied Piper kind of mentality with them, and
Yeah.
lets me be a kid again.
Yeah, well, with you doing that, you kind of earn a respect in the way that they think is the opposite of it. It's like, I know with the kids, once you kind of like, yeah, cut that out. Let's not do that to Miss Booker. Let's not, she cool. Let's not do that. With the other one, no, no, and all these no's meet all the time. Of course, they're going to be met with a lot of resistance because you didn't meet them with resistance. So I totally get it, but that they're just jealous. That's all. They're just jealous about the whole thing. But the point of giving yourself permission to say, "Hey, I'm not signing up for things." Check it in with yourself to see if, is this really truly resonating with me? I had that moment too, uh, as well. This moment with the DM and myself, as well, as far as saying, you know what, do I really want to do this? Do I not want to do this? How do I actually feel about doing this? What he's asked me to do. Beforehand, used to just jump right on in, and find myself to kind of take that and filtrate it into other things and ask myself, do I really want to? I think we're really making sure that we're putting ourselves team number one in the number one slot as the priority instead of doing other people. So I kind of really have gotten that push. I can understand that theme coming through you, Kathy D, that I've seen that. And that goes back to April we talked about earlier at the top of the hour, which was standing in your power. That's another thing that you would do, which is to ask yourself, now, before we do this, we sign on to this. Is this a hell yes? Is we both going in for this Hail Mary pass? Or is it just, we just doing it because we just want to, because it's going to give us brownie points? Because otherwise that, we don't need to sign up for this. And so, you really becoming real with yourself. Like just with me not feeling well, I was like, okay, I could push it. I miss the babies. I don't want nobody to see it. But this week I had to learn, okay, if you don't feel it, last week I didn't feel it. And I should have took off. And my body was like, okay. And you didn't listen to us, huh? Okay. And wham. And, it just hit me. Oh, I'm tired. I should have listened beforehand. But this week it came and I felt, the need to stay home, although against what people at the school had wanted me to do. And I was like, no, I got to listen to me. I only got one me. If I come in there
Mm-hmm.
and double mask it like you asked me to, and I'm knowing I can't breathe and I'm having all these breathing issues, that makes no sense to me. Just to make you satisfied so you don't have to find another sub. No, can't do that. Won't do it. And so that was it, And I know at time it would make me feel guilty afterwards by saying that. I said, that's it. It tried. And now it's like, no, Bertine, we're not going to do that. It's team you right now. So pay attention to that. That's what you need to be focusing in on, not about what makes her happy. So I've seen a lot of a pushing of us doing that to really say, why are we thinking this way? Why are we leaning on this form of doing things? Is it really helping us, or is it making us internally sick because we're doing that literally? So I can vouch for that actually happened too as well. Sean, what are you observing and what are you seeing? Something come to you channel wise that can help us collectively or anything? No. Woo.
Yes, lots and lots.
I figured that.
So
So just said, please talk to him.
you so fun. You're so, and being
Not
sorely
be fine.
outnumbered, I
Let me
just waited
watch it.
till called
Let me
upon.
watch
I
it
just
with you.
waited till
Because he'll
I
start
just
back.
I just
I won't
waited till
talk to
called
you.
upon.
I was
Okay,
asking for a friend. I was asking for a
asking
friend.
for a friend.
So you
Well, so what I would like for women to realize is that you can fulfill the roles that you need to fulfill for the other people in your life that you perceive to be depending on you without energetically depleting yourselves in any way. And what that is a transformation of the connection itself, right? So some people just are a part of your karma. That's why, going back to I did an energy healing and did my karmas ended meditation. There are a lot of people that are part of your karma that you've held on to for a long time, right? But at the end of karma, there's nothing but you and your twin inside of infinity, and that's all that there is to it. So when you go into that deity energy with your twin flame, it changes your energetic connection to all these other people. So it's less cords, and women are trained to feel guilty about cutting those cords. But those energetic cords do need to be cut, you know, and do need to be transformed. And you can still be in your divine love. You can still be in your divine compassion. You can still play the part. You can still be mommy. You can still be auntie. You can still be dog mommy. You can still be teacher. You can still be life coach. You can still be energy healer. You can still be whatever, but you do it from a different energetic standpoint. And when you're doing it from that different energetic standpoint, it doesn't deplete you. And it's not something to be guilty about or to be ashamed of. It's to reject those false concepts that did not come from you and did not come from your twin flame either. They came from karma. They came from the outside in, and they came from karma because what karma's job is to hold on to you until you grow your wings big and strong enough to flap them the fuck off. And that's what it is. Flap, 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 flap. Free thyself. Yes. And don't take no for an answer and don't stop. And look, don't stop till you get enough. What did Michael Jackson say? Don't stop till you get enough. Keep going and just don't stop. And that's what I try to give you all, the fact you all are allowed to be linear as well. This idea that you're always supposed to be spinning around in circles is also part of programming. You have to do both. We're meant to be adept in both directions. So just like I was talking about before, as the masculine energy, I did my exoteric path first because that is my was my natural default domain. So I did my exoteric part first, and then naturally the esoteric emerged. So you guys do the same thing, but in reverse. You guys, all three of you, have already integrated your esoteric. So now just allow the exoteric to take through and keep a
Mhm.
linear focus on your divinity and don't stop till you get enough. Do not stop until you get enough. And then you're going to be there and then stay there. And then you don't have to run around to be like the slave, be mommy the slave or teacher the slave. You run around being mommy the goddess, okay? Sprinkle some fairy dust on it and call it a wrap, you know? Be in your power all the time. And I think that's enough for now.
more. No, it's funny.
Instruction us to the point where we get confused and do nothing and actually do the thing we're supposed to do. Yes. I like it. Load it up. No, I'm just kidding.
Always so simple, so simple. And yet we done made it complicated. Just
That's how
by
The
you know
close,
it's a masculine thing. It's like, oh, that's so simple. Like comedians joke about this all the time, but you know, is it a stereotype? If it's true,
where's where's the lie? Point. Show me the lie.
yes, it's yeah. No, it's not. But yeah,
I,
the truth
I
is
think
so
the truth is simple. I think the closer you
truth
get
is
to the truth, the
simple.
simpler it is.
Hmm.
Right. It's
Yes.
so simple that we think it's a lie. That's how
Yeah.
simple.
Well, and you've been trained for that, right? The devil's
Right.
a lie. So you thinking it's a lie is the lie. The devil
Right.
is a lie. He said, get back Satan. And with three, get back Satan. Not today, Satan. Okay, it is what it is. We are merging heaven and earth. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The decision has been made, and we're making it again. And here we go.
and that's what's beautiful about coming into the present moment and like shifting my focus, right? Because I wanted to do everything, but you know, I got time. Right now, I just have to do now and every moment of now. And sometimes now is just cruising and learning and letting myself be enjoying the moment instead of worrying about what's not good enough about that moment or what's not good enough about my goal set. It's like, no, it's all good. It's all excellent. In fact, you're better than you think you are. You're more powerful than you think you are. And you need very little energy put out. You mostly just get to cultivate it and then direct it because we haven't been directing. Now we're learning to direct. Now we're learning to be present and direct that momentum and that energetics. And it's like a very little bit and it's off the chain like that. Everything is so strong right now. And I'm thankful, definitely thankful that I'm coming into that realization because I'm sending out so much power. But if I was sending it out in all the directions, right? Because you're having this back and forth with your thought, right? Because women are always on the fence of how do I get everything to work? You want scissors? You are 2 years old. I'm not giving you any scissors. I gotta go handle this real quick.
No, you're not getting this scissors done.
Scissors too.
You don't need
Amy,
scissors.
Amy, what did mommy say?
Hey, he
Amy,
cannot
what did
hear you.
mommy say?
He can't hear you, but he knows to make a stink face.
What did mommy say? Okay,
He
you,
can't
you,
hear
you give me that stink face. You give me that stink face, but you know your mommy's right.
you. What did mommy say? That's what he said. What did mommy say? No scissors.
Dare to play, Amy. You don't need to be cutting stuff up.
Don't need to. Mimi says, I so needed to hear this. Thank you, Sean. About to finally end a karmic cycle with my grandmother, but I feel the guilt seeping in and lots of self-judgment. What you say about that, Sean?
Well, just to make it right on an energetic level, and then if they if people feel to talk shit, guess what, man? That's let them talk their shit, man. If nothing else, you gave them free entertainment, okay? So like whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? You were of service, because chickens in the coop are gonna cluck, right? You gave them something to cluck about, honey. That's a gift. That's an energetic gift. And you don't have to listen to that stuff psychically or otherwise. Like RuPaul says, okay, what other people think about me is none of my damn business. And what
Right.
that means is that they're working out their own projection bullshit by projecting it onto the canvas that is you and your grace and your beauty. Lady Serafina, that's what you are, Miss Mimi. And so you just let them project and let them do what they got to do onto you, and you be free. Flap them wings and fly up, and don't let nobody, grandma's ghost, whatever it is, don't let nobody hold you back or hold you down. You do what you have to do for yourself. Make it right energetically. You can talk to their higher self, and their
Hmm.
higher self will let you know what the T is. And the T is going to sound like what I'm telling you right now, is that you have to be free. And that is the way to
Hmm.
honor them, and that is the way to honor yourself.
And remember, you manifest a lot of this if they're in the physical. The way people react to you is things that you're manifesting, because you'll think up in your head. We think about it. We plan out what we're going to say, how they're going to react. And then we're going to say, oh, well, see, they're going to be this way. They're going to be this way. I've done it for years with the karmic, you know, and I finally just said, no, I'm not going to bother. And if it gets too bad, wrap them up in a ball of love and light, and away they go. I just make sure that when I wrap them in a ball of love and light, it is a opaque ball, so I can't see them. It's just a big old white ball just rolling around the house, you know, and it doesn't faze me, and I don't anymore. And that's the way I manifest it.
To play angel's advocate, or the physical advocate. What makes it more difficult for some is they're adding on that extra layer, which is, but they're family.
Mm-hmm.
But they've done this for me.
Are they though? Are they though?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the layer. You take the title off, understand that we're all human beings, and dealing when you strip it down to what you're saying, let's talk energy to energy, energetic to energetic, then we level the playing field. A lot of times that's a thing that a lot of people don't use as a tool or something that's in your back pocket or the trump card that you can slap on, is talking to a person's higher self. That because I
Mm-hmm.
deal that with students. Excuse me, I knew something, so got to release that. Dealing with students, they might be acting wacko, jacko, wacko here, but then when I talk to higher self, it comes down to it, and it's like, well, I dealt with that student. They don't act like that with me. Well, you don't talk to the higher self. So my thing is, what Sean is saying is right. Get past the labeling. Even I had a session with him. I had to get past the labeling of the person so I could be able to really actually talk to that person. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what you have to do. So anybody else besides Mimi, I think she knows, but I'm going to put this fast forward for the playground, that this is going to reach other people that's not so quite seasoned and know, have discernment like Mimi does, to understand that higher self can go past that, and you don't have to deal with it where he was abusive to me. And I got to have this conversation. I'm going to let him go. He going to slap the crap out of me when I finish with whatever. I might no have that conversation with him energetically. It doesn't matter. So my thing is again, this is across the board for all of us lessons, because they're talking about, was that this one? They was talking about lessons. Yeah. Saying about the one I just did the reading, saying, what are you learning from all this, from the karma? What is your lesson? What are you learning? So again, what are we learning from this, as far as other people too that might be watching this? They can see that again, we're not just talking about that. It goes beyond just seeing that person physically. That we're talking about to a next level, and then you'll be able to drop down and reach that person in the physical into the 3D too as well. So you know that. But I knew that, Mimi, that it's that family thing. I have the same thing too as well. But I practice what Sean has said. Hey, come on, hit me with your best shot. And some days you forget, like, okay, yeah, that's mom. And then you let it kind of hit you on the armor. It goes past there. But when you do shield up and say, okay, today I'm ready for you, that stuff is like, phew, okay, let me talk to you while you acting crazy right there, and you saying all this crazy stuff. Let me talk to your higher self. Didn't I tell you don't come to me like that no more? Didn't I tell you if I respect you, you respect me? Okay, then you look, you jet yourself back into the situation and the conversation, and the person's demeanor is all right. You know what? I was kind of wrong in that last statement that I said. You didn't check back into. So, okay, so you did hear what I just said to you, the higher self, to the person. You can see it even in the nanosecond also change the conversation. So it might be a couple of sentences down the road, but it will shift and change, and you hear them saying, okay, I heard you. You know what? Or they just stop talking.
Mm-hmm.
Start talking to the higher self. They just start talking, they walk away. Like, what happened to the conversation? I guess they said that's it. Like, oh, my show is coming on. Thank you. May God be with you. And going back over there to your room. Because I told you I wasn't going to have this conversation and we not respect each other. I already told your higher self this. So, that's another way I can give you tangible how what Sean is saying that I have used and applied. And you'll see conversation cut off, conversations change, or they start emitting what they did wrong in there. So do take that advice John has said.
Yeah, and one other thing too is right now it's so important to have faith and trust. You've got to have.
Hold on. That's got to be April because that happened. It's showing me.
No.
Hello? I'm
Yeah,
muted.
it's not April. Yeah, it must have been. I don't
Yeah,
know.
because she did that last time with her thing. I don't know what it is that you go into, or whatever it is that say. Because we thought Archangel Michael was talking to us. They giving us
Yeah,
how we can say the word. We up there taking notes. That was a video. I'm like, what? I'm like, Kathy D and I said we ready to plug in. She got a video playing underneath the podcast, and we thinking that it's like actual beings are talking to us through the video cast.
Oh yeah, we were trying to decipher it and everything. We knew we were hearing from the other side. That
I'm like, you
they even had native accent. We were like, well, yeah.
yeah.
But the thing is, you have to have trust and faith that when you call that person in, you feel it. Sometimes, and when working with Sean, when I did this, I actually even got a smell, so I knew that that was the person. You've got to know, it's one of those things. If you don't believe that you are able to reach their higher person, you're not going to be able to.
And
If you
don't
believe
and
don't, yeah.
do it.
Yeah, if you don't believe it, don't do it. If you don't have, because you'll wind up getting all kinds of craziness in. But the other thing is too, we have to sometimes remember that some of these people that are difficult in our lives, that in between lives, we've invited in or hired them to come in and do this to make us elevate to a higher level. So always, as we call them in on their higher level, when we do call them in, when you're confident and you feel comfortable in doing that, I don't highly suggest that to people that have never tried it before. It would probably be a really good time to get a session with either, Divine Sunshine or April or Sean to show you, how to do that. But when you call them in, make sure that you thank them, because if you've learned something, it wasn't a waste. And even if you're not happy about the way you learned it and what you learned it, gratitude. It's still, the greatest of this is love, and we've got to show gratitude even for the people that are real pains in our patootie. We have to show gratitude, because a lot of times we're going to find out 9 times out of 10 in between lives, we hired them to come in and do this for us.
That's true.
And part of that, right, is reinforced. So, sounding weird, functioning. Is it really trippy? Like something is happening? Right. On the playground. Sound weird. Moving slow. There, I'm blowing what I'm being told. No, but
I'll be back. Hasta la vista, baby. I'll be back.
Possible.
Terminator.
Literally, I'm talking in a high reason, like flirting.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Domo.
You freaking out the audience. The audience member said they
Hey, now. Take over. I called it, and all of a sudden you're saying that's not all right.
We've now had the new voice vibrating pipe. Have you ever seen the kids play with those on the playground? They've now been installed on April's part of the playground.
Yeah, put that back in. Put down like when you had it in.
Domo arigato.
No, I can't hear you. Well, hold
Yeah.
on a second. Try it. Hold on. No, I can't hear. Now I know I didn't mute you. Did I mute you? Still muted?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you still seem like you didn't drink the fifth of gin, but yeah.
Hello?
Friday night at my house.
Hello? Baba. Nothing back. You know what I'm gonna say.
I think you would do better without the headphones, honestly.
What
I
you
think
say?
it might be the headphone microphone.
I'm just messing with you. I had called and about talking to them, and all of a sudden you like the freaking turn.
Girl, go fix
Alright.
go fix your bike. I'd already heard you talk about my
Now,
mama.
now I'm getting Daft Punk. Work it, makes it, move it faster, harder, faster. Work is never over.
Whatever.
Burna, 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 burna.
Oh my God, I can't breathe.
Now
I
I'm
really
getting
can't
Daft
breathe.
Punk.
I really can't breathe. Oh God, I think we're taken over by the Minecraft or what? I don't know what the hell going on here.
I did have something to add to it. Can I add my piece, my little bit to
Yeah,
that
yes, you can while she's getting herself together.
Do I
about the
sound like a
family
normal
part?
person?
She's back.
Yes, very good.
I
You was
connected
way
with
up there
my
at the
DM and the
11th.
5D, and then I start sounding like a dude. That's not
No,
cool.
you're 11th
You sound like
dimension.
a robot.
Right.
Yeah.
Is
Oh,
he
stop.
telling me I should invest in a toy company?
What kind of toys?
Freaky Friday
Freaky
edition
Friday.
toys.
This never mind, never mind. But what I was wanting to say about the family part is that really most of us did not incarnate into soul family, and that's the truth. Most of us incarnated into bloodlines that needed us, right? Because we're Christalizing the bloodlines that we're in, and you do that energetically, right? You do that through your actual DNA. The exchange is we get these bodies in which to live out our mission here on this plane, and they get their genetic line to be Christalized, and the healing goes backwards and forwards, right? So you can do that work for these people who identify as your family without having to get weighed down by their karmic nonsense. They're going to be at a lower vibrational level than you are, because that they wouldn't need you if for that purpose if they were already there, right? The Drusidic bloodlines, the already Christic bloodlines, did not call us in. It's these other bloodlines that called us in that are deeply damaged. And guess what? They acted. They act like they're deeply damaged. You don't have to go down with that ship.
Amen.
Okay. So you can do this stuff with removal. You can do this with boundaries. You can do this with distance. Okay. You should still do it. Okay. Uphold your side of the deal, uphold your side of the bargain, pay for your body. Okay. And then take your body wherever it pleases to go. All right. Far away from these folks if you have to. There you go.
Yeah, that's interesting. I remember when it first started, like I learned about the twin flame journey. It was said that many of the light workers and twin flames had been dropped off in families of demons or devils hidden there. Which is now I see what you're saying. Your thing they were kind of really like fire and brimstone about it. In some ways, that's their belief where they were. But I can see what they're saying. It's just like what you're saying that the family line is really deep in karma. Rather is like it's whatever it is, this mindset that keeps them in this thing, or they might have a mental issues, or everybody in the family got mental issues. Okay, so that would be their demons that they got to fight. And you come along here, it. Hey, statistically wise, hey, you should be prime candidate for the Looney Tune. or the loony bin. But you come in saying, hey, something within you, you got the within all, the spiritual DNA, the actual DNA, the resolve, the heart, the belief, to override that and show them, hey, we don't all have to, up in this family, in the Jackson's family, got to choose insanity. You know there's another way, right?
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
you coming along is, I understand now what they meant by that. You being dropped in a den of demons, as they call it, people that got demons that they got to deal with, not literally. And here you are shining light to change that. So that's interesting. It was like I already knew it, but you helped for me to kind of connect the dots. Like, why did that always wonder? Like, why do they always say light workers are always dropped in families that are of demons? And I was like, huh? They say they hide us there. But it's not really about hiding. It's about we're there so we can maybe again shine the light because there's darkness. It's not about hiding. I remember who his name was. It was Daniel Boone from LLE Essentials. He had said that. And he comes from that Christian kind of uh, ideology or belief that, you know, about the demons and this and that stuff. So now I see why he had said that. But you putting it together helps to bring a little bit more light and more spiritual slant to it than what he's saying too as well. And it
Well,
gives us a
and
much bigger purpose too.
well, and to complete the job, you have to choose sanity first.
Mhm.
You said so. You're teaching them sanity by you choosing to be sane first. Put the
Right.
oxygen mask on yourself first.
Right. I like that. Right. That's true. That's true. That's true. Yeah. Instead you say not you saying it's different than I can hear you saying this too and them saying at the same time. It's a difference that you all hear him saying, I'm gonna be sane. Okay, you can say that all along and then things come along to throw you off your square that you're not gonna be there. But when you make the conscious decision and you stand in your power and you rooted and grounded in that foundation that I am sanity. That's who
Right.
I am sane, not insanity. I am sane. So that is that's what
And
makes
even
the
if it
difference.
looks like insanity to the outside world.
Right.
They be looking like insanity
Well,
to us, do they not?
Oh
it's
yes.
it's this really interesting clearing that's happening, right? Where everybody's actually in muddy water, but they're claiming that it's clear, and then they're claiming, well, so and so said my water's clear, so it must be clear, right?
Okay.
But it's only in the being that you're able to actually see with clarity that this is a mixed up upside down world where bad is good and good is boring, right? And then and then you know people they're claiming I don't know, there's so much double speak right now happening that you need to have the foundation of you intact.
Mhm.
Okay.
And
Okay.
even if that means dismantling the connection to the so-called roots, because your roots are spiritual more so than they are physical, even
I
though you have a physical body, because our roots need clearing. The foundations of all of these houses have been made on quicksand, and none of them are going to stay unless they've been made within that righteous intent. And only few people are carrying that torch of righteous intent, but they also are considered oddities or freaks or whatever, right? Because and then what? Now, remember when it was, oh, a tattoo, oh, taboo. But then you find out there are whole cultures that base their whole existence on these tattoos that have been passed down. And so all of a sudden it becomes, oh, it's cool to have a tattoo now. Face tattoos. Oh, that's crazy. But it's like, oh, no, there's warriors from so many tribes that get all of these face tattoos. Okay, now it's a badge of honor, right?
right.
You are coming in fully tattooed, fully speaking in that ancient Sumerian text, like you're the one from ancient Kemet just rose back from the dead, and you're like, oh wait, I signed up, but what happened? What happened? Everybody's like everybody's in hypnosis right now, and so people are slowly starting to wake up to the fact that they are in fact spiritual beings, the fact that they are in fact, oh, science is actually, we are technically in the stupidest age of science that we've ever had. I mean, we still don't know how they built pyramids. We still don't know where these petroglyphs and all these stuff came from. And there's no way that human beings could do it. So technically, we're dumber now than we were when we built the pyramids. The mathematics was insanity, right? They could like the way they could line up buildings and all that stuff was beyond us now. So
Mhm.
technically, we're like some of us are like the immature little sister who had someone, pass away before us, but they didn't give us that knowledge. They just left the remnants. So for those of us who have adopted in as their higher, more mature soul levels, we're dealing with a lot of toddlers right now. And a lot of people are waking up, and it takes time, and it's freaky, right? Because the person who is new to the spiritual world, they're going to think, oh, everything is so scary and it's frightening at night. Whereas those who have been matured into spirit, it's like, this is when I can feel the richness and connection with the divine.
Yeah.
It's so potent and powerful. But to people who are ignorant of it, they're afraid of it. Just like when you say certain things, it triggers people to shut down and automatically want to call you crazy versus them just saying you listen to them sit there and complain about their life every day and do trauma bonding, but you're like, don't you think it's crazy that you've been doing that every day for like 10 years? Like, isn't that a thing? So
No, they don't think that. I can tell you that.
like, if you just let me complain for like 10 more minutes, I think you'd get it.
No, 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 no.
Yeah.
I like this feeling of victim. Well, I don't. Thank you.
Well, you can only be a victim once. You're a volunteer after that.
Right, yeah.
And some people are professional volunteers.
Sign me up. Where's the net? Where I sign up? Where I sign it? Right here. Okay, thank you. You know this is
I'm
my.
gonna say that gets a little gray based on the age because the rights of freedoms, all these quotes here, the rights of freedoms don't apply until you're like 16 to 18. So if you're before that and you're subjugated to like abuse over and over and conditioning over and over again, it's like you're sort of a victim because most people don't understand how parenting, because the new paradigms are coming in. The new paradigms of what the holidays mean, the new paradigms of what family means, the new paradigm of what friends are for and connection,
I gotta
spirit,
go
soul, family,
for work.
everything is redesigning. And so this idea and this concept that keeps slipping in of scarcity is not necessarily scarcity, it's sustainability. And what we've been doing has not been sustainable. Taking down huge forests just for one day of celebration, which is still a masked celebration of another type of energetic
It's
shifting
the
and portal.
cut trees. Nothing.
I mean, technically, and look what they're doing to turkeys. I was watching a special on it, and it's like, oh, turkeys used to take 2 years to grow. Now it's 6 months, and then they're twice as big as they were before. Like, there's some stuff going on behind the scenes. Who's my spiritual fluffer? I need need someone to warm them up for me so I can go on. You know what I mean?
Not I say to fly. I ain't fluffing on that. I already tasted the other side. I know what's going on now. But I ain't gonna work. But I used to be that way. That's hockey flush. But now I'm like, yeah, she might have a kernel of truth to what she just said. That some ain't right, some don't smell right. It's walking like a duck, quacking like a duck. It's a duck.
Mm-hmm.
During these times, I mean, you should be waking up, questioning everything. And it's interesting. We're getting to the point that even they have said that things that we're saying that it's not the truth. You got to remember there's a kernel of truth in that you're saying is quacky stuff. There's something in there true for it to exist, for it to come out. So it can't be all dismissive. So this is where we are with the world and us really, as far as the world, how it's showing outside, is the way we should be really questioning ourselves too. What is it that we've been kind of letting things kind of get by with? What are some things that we really should be questioning about, saying, is it really scarce? Is it not really that as scarce as we think? Maybe it's time for us to kind of look about things that we need to kind of let go and adopt something new. So, you have to look at the outside of us in our environment is also giving us clues about what we maybe should be checking in introspectively as well. All right, this is a good time. I see Kathy D is kind of looking getting sleepy over there. She's releasing energy. I'll call it that way rather than saying sleepy. So let's wrap it up. Is there anything, especially I know why I call my guy Sean over here in, because he's got these great things happening. I told you all it's a great push in the community. I'm gonna keep on because I'm a person that stands behind what I say. Spirit has brought to me several times through the guides that we need to practice community, coming together. Sean answered the call. That was way before I even talked to Sean. Sean had already, Spirit had already talked to him. He's like, I'm already in the works for a group there. I'm like, what? So he's picked it up because it's in the ether. It's working on and us collectively coming together. Healing is in the midst. Can't say it slow enough. So Sean, tell us, what are some things that you are offering for us collectively that are free, or whatever that you're doing that's going to help us with the times that we're coming upon now.
Right. Well, thank you for that. But yeah, well, so we're doing twin flame group therapy. We're doing it what every other Monday from 6:30 p.m. Eastern to 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and it's the first and the third Monday, and then there's 5 Mondays in this month, whatever month we're in, November. So people will get a bonus session this month. So everybody, a lot of people are going to end up like bartering or like doing other things, as far as like whatever. So don't let the fee like hold you back. Like it's off of my Patreon page, and it's $30 a month. And truth be told, it is worth it. But we're in a global economic crisis, so I'm also inclined to be more flexible than I usually would be. So it's kind of like just come on and join. And everybody who fills out the interest survey, and I sent Bertina the interest survey earlier today. I think you posted it somewhere.
Okay.
Or you're gonna post? Oh, you're gonna post it on the
I'm about to
community
post,
page.
yeah, I want them over here. Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. So if you fill out the interest survey, that'll get send your email to me, and then that's how you get into the group, And then we'll be as the group expands, we'll be able to offer more time slots. But for now, we're the first and third Monday of the first and third Monday each month. From 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And a lot of people don't know I'm a mental health professional, so I bring that side to bear as well. And so we actually do activities. I give you guys resources. I give you guys homework that y'all don't do. No, I'm just kidding. Some people do. Look, some people do, some people don't do. Okay, let's be real.
I do
So, you guys are better. You guys are better than my local people. I will say the local people never do their homework. Y'all do at least some of y'all's homework. But and then I'm also doing Global Patriot Mission Coaching, which is my exoteric side. So that's bringing forth my activist background, because people are seeing, the world's on fire, and there are some people who want to do stuff about it, but they don't know quite what to do. Because with my wealth of experience being an activist my entire life, I know what to do, but I only have one body, right? So come to me for those pointers on how to get plugged in and do the work that needs to be done. And the free part of the Global Patriot Mission Coaching is where you can go to extropicesoterica.com and click in the upper right hand corner of the page, or if you're on a phone, it would be the last one on the menu item. From your phone or tablet, and click on GPMC, Global Patriot Mission Coaching, and that's where you will find links to the show and links to resources as well for you to participate. But I do that on Mondays and Thursdays at 11:30 p.m. Eastern. It's kind of like a late night show, but it's designed to be a chat show. So like I bring a topic to talk about. Like I sent Bertina my first episode, which was last night. I sent her the replay, and so you can participate live, and eventually that'll be a super chat show through Entropy, where you can do the paid super chats. But until people start paying, I'll answer whatever questions get presented to me, whether they're paid for or not. So, and that's I can list that off of Extra Esoterica.
Okay, okay. And so, like I said, you all need to really make sure. Yeah, I got a copy this way. iPhones, they're so interesting. Anyway, uh, make sure that you sign up for something or see how you can be able to. Don't let the price or anything stop you. He's giving you all different kind of options for you to do that. I can tell you from a person who has led groups like his before when we had the Sunshine Circle, is very beneficial that you join for things, groups like this. Healing, don't think because I'm in it and I'm leading, I know everything. I come in there and I put Divine Sunshine to the side and I let Bertina show up. And so
Yeah.
everybody, you need that coming together to let you know that you're not alone because again, this twin flame journey is already makes you feel like again what we talked about earlier. You're the only one understand what's going on. Nobody else. If you got a family, like we just said, they're saying, "Hey, you crazy," and you leave them saying, "No, you crazy." It's a difference there as well. So make sure that you are taking advantage of these things. I keep on giving you resources so you all to know. And I told Sean, I said, you got to come on here. I really almost want you every time you about to do group therapy, come on here so we can get more people to understand the seriousness of this coming together right now. Kathy D, is there anything? Thank you, Sean. Is there anything with you? Uh,
Actually, yes.
oh,
My
okay.
kiddos, believe it or not, once again, those kids, those darn kids, um, but they had introduced me to a site, and it's called, and I never say it right. They always have to correct me, but it's like Fiverr, Feverr. Well, and they do it for their art. Well, so I'm poking around because they were asking me some questions about how their sites looked and things like that. And as I'm poking around, I find this whole thing about homeopathic stuff and people offering Reiki and life coaching and things like that. And I thought, you know what? This would be a really great way to do Reiki and be able to send out just a general, self esteem one, 20 minutes, $5. But then if they want one done for them for a specific thing, then it'd be more, and they can. So I signed up for all of that, and I'm on that and with the life coaching, hypnotherapy, and my Reiki, just as a way, because I'm finding around here in Central Florida, which is very odd because in North Florida and South Florida Reiki is blowing up, but right here in redneck heaven it's not going anywhere. So but it'll catch on slowly but surely. So but yeah, so that's what I've got going on. So just real quick hit, because I know sometimes, and I watch some of the people on YouTube, just because sometimes you get tired of talking to yourself and you just need to hear a different voice. And so I'll watch some, and there's some on YouTube that I'm like, I didn't feel that. That something's off on that. And if you do feel that, don't do it.
Okay.
I'm the same way with the hypnotherapy. If
Okay.
they don't put in there what they're like, if they have subliminal, if they don't put in there what the statements are, don't do it. Um, and really and truly, when you're doing the hypnotherapy, you shouldn't have to use, subliminal. So kind of keep all that kind of stuff in mind.
Okay.
Um, but so just kind of be mindful, but there's some good ones out there on YouTube, but I think there's some out there too that maybe aren't so good. And I just kind of like to give everybody a really kind of just clean and pure shot of energy for not a whole lot of money,
Okay.
$5. And because I didn't, fighting with YouTube and then having to edit and all of that, when I can just go straight on, record it on my own, drop it on there, and it's done. So that's what I am trying that. So
Yeah, yeah. I got introduced to that because the guy in contacted me about my YouTube and trying to help get the stuff together on YouTube. And so on Fiverr, and so I joined that too as well. I didn't go on to the next steps because I got bogged down with other stuff. But I do know that is really good if you want that one-on-one. You have that not entrepreneurship, but you are hired by job or whatever it is that you
mm-hmm.
have. That's a good way for you to anybody's thinking about doing that too. If you want that as well, it runs the gamut there. It's and it's kind of I don't think it's then you pay for it. I can't remember, but anyway. So it's really a good way for you to be able to get hired for whatever you need, no matter what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It runs the gamut. So that's a good way. So okay, all right then, goody. April Williams, what you got?
Do I sound like the Terminator or Daft
No,
Punk
you
right
say
now?
you say.
Because at least like I'm famous, you know what I mean? Like people know me.
He doesn't. You're right.
um, but yeah, so I'm finishing up my book, and so I'm going to be doing some group coaching pretty soon for women who are looking to embody and help with different uterine issues through yoni steaming. Um, I'm kind of I'm kind of letting spirit help me navigate this one and how to narrow it down. But I really just want to spread the concept because I myself was able to rid my body of PCOS, and I wanted to give people the life hacks and the body hacks to have it happen faster. So any women with fertility issues, issues with their menstrual cycle, endometriosis, fibroids, 80% of women um, that are in childbearing age get fibroids. 600,000 women a year. Actually, it's a little more than 600,000 women a year get hysterectomies, like full hysterectomies. And the energetics are still there in the body. So yoni steaming helps calm the nervous system. It can help heal and clear trauma. Anyone who's dealt with sexual abuse or molestation or anything like that, these things, these tools and mindset stuff I put together are absolutely fabulous. So the book will be on sale soon. I think I might start doing pre-orders. I'm just figuring out how to do the whole funnel thing, how you can purchase it and all that good stuff. But I want to make it accessible. I'm also doing free. I also have all my free energy healing and stuff up. I even put up the womb healing. I think it was private at first and I made it public, but that'll get you going. I'm telling you, every time I'm laughing because I was doing energy work on myself and started my cycle again. Like I really need to like stop using my body as proxy. I'm just gonna be showing how to do the energy healing, but externally. I'm not gonna take this stuff internally anymore because it's powerful. It works, and I surprise myself every single time. So I also started to learn a new healing modality on top of my Reiki. I do a Pythagorean Edgar Casey energy healing. That's absolutely fantastic. I couldn't go to sleep. I did it too late. I was doing the energy healing, and then it woke in my kundalini, and then I couldn't stop moving. So like it was very interesting because the energy was very very fast acting. So you know my name, you know my website. Like hit me up if you want. I highly suggest getting together with us for the twin flame because all the twin flames are like we're flame on. And we're crazy like a fox.
I forgot.
And,
I,
and, April, and April and I are working on our first duet, aren't we, dear?
Yes, we are.
I forgot. I've spaced that. I'm sorry. I forgot even.
So that's Sean's
That's
website.
Sean's.
Definitely
Thank
check
you.
him out
As
for
I'm
people
going
who
to.
want.
I'm sorry.
And here's Kathy D's email. She'll probably send you straight to her Fiverr account because
Right.
she's
Yep.
too busy for you unless you got big bucks. Okay, we're about to move into another level, people. That's my website if you want to check it out. Get me while I'm still affordable because I think I might take off my coaching, my one-on-one coachings because they they're very powerful, but they're also very very intense. I'm a shifter. I'm a mover and a shaker. And the thing is, if you're still holding on to a lot of stuff, honey, I'm about to shake it off you, and there's no. I'm gonna call out every single bullshit card you pull, and that's just not gonna work out. when you're
But,
trying to hold, when you're
but,
trying to hold on to things you don't need to. Oh
but
no
you
no
don't
no,
know.
honey.
But you don't
Mm-hmm.
understand. I've been like this. My family been like this. What? No.
But that's
And the
just how
woman,
we are.
Right.
that's true. That's true,
That's how
right?
you were. That's how you
Yeah,
were.
we roll.
That's how
Right.
you were.
And
That's what they're pulling. You're like, okay, I haven't heard from you in months, and you're coming back again with the same. I hear change, and the more and more I talk to you, we just shifted right on back to the old. Okay, all right, let me be quiet. But I do feel you, and I do understand what you're talking about with that, and we've all been there too as well. So I'm not gonna say that I had my own conversation with myself. Sometimes I go into that kind of vibe as well. What I'm doing now is I am working on the project. I know that I got to kind of get a little hustle on with it because I want to release it for 12/12. And so I will be doing a definitely a free class on this very thing. Once I kind of hone the title of it a little better, I got it, but I'm going to finagle and kind of mess with some things. But I definitely know it has to be released by 12/12. So I will be doing a free class, of course, on that, which is going to lead on to this courses, because that's my goal to do courses on things that form a soul psychotherapy, kind of like getting in there and making you think, but connected with your mind and your heart together. I think that's what we need to do at this point, and but it's going to create healing. Also, speaking of that, I have gotten some new cards that have inspired me to help us to ask ourselves questions about how we can heal ourselves with the connection, and heal ourselves with the relationship with the other person in physical. I think it's been. I did a couple of experiments with mine. They made her think she's like, okay. I never thought of it like that. And you can even hear me as I'm doing the readings, where I'm actually having dialogue and talking to the DM, and we're kind of conversing back and forth to let you know how thought provoking these new types of ways in which I'm doing readings are now. It's more so about to make you think instead of me feeding you information. Well, your man is doing this and the DM is doing this and divine feminine. Mm-mm. I want you to walk away thinking. If you got to pick out your notebook and you got to start writing things down, that's the mindset that I want you from, because I want you now to be consciously aware of the decisions that you're making and be consciously aware of the connections, not only with yourself, with the people around you, but also about your person, and more so less than making that separation consciousness. Watching a lot of Lee and Sherry, that's helping me to kind of really see and understand about this separation that we don't know. We think we tackled and said, we're one, we're ussies. But we ain't acting like we ussy. We still acting as if that's your problem, that's my problem, and there's no in between. So that's what I've been working on now. So I've created the series. And so when I'm instructed, that's where I've gotten to the point, like April said, I've accepted my creative flow. Sometimes I'm in the mood to do it. Sometimes I'm not in the mood to do the readings, or sometimes the spirit has to push me to do it. But I've come to acceptance of not beating myself up to saying why you don't feel like doing readings right now, because that's just not where I'm at that flow at that time. And so I'm coming to a point of acceptance. So this is the things that I'm doing. I'm more about this healing process so we can get over it and move on. It's not that, not good. Yeah, well, I mean, literally, not like get over it. What's wrong with you? I mean, get over it
Right.
to get to the other side so you can be able to push past to the new beginnings that's there for
Hmm.
you. Okay? So that's what I'm doing. Here we got here. Make sure that you click like, share, and subscribe to this channel, because why? We need the likes. We need the algorithms. We need to change. We need people to know about what good stuff we're having over here. We got Sean coming on here, and he probably will be coming regular when he can. So we can have it. Look at, he ain't even moved. You have that other energy that's in here too. But whenever he is, we always got an open door for him to be able to come on here. But again, we're needed collectively, and we got to bring some other people on the team to come on here to help push you along and on the playground. Hey, we are more open and willing to do that if it's that spirit leads us, or you even say that, hey, y'all need to have so and so on here, because I think that's what will help push the people. Let us know, email us, all that good stuff. So let's get us on out of here. What you got there? Your sign off, Sean?
Well,
We
I'm in retention now, so it's not going to be bump, bump, bump. So we'll do this, but no this. Okay, that's what it is.
oh
Okay,
man,
and I'm
hell.
so it's just this, and then we just chill. Okay, we just chill.
Okay, just chill,
So
chill and hug. Okay. Yes, Kathy
yeah,
D.
we just chill. Yeah,
Well, empty all the virtual sand out of your shoes and socks. Make sure you get your own sand bucket, clean up your virtual playground, throw away all your little juice boxes, and we will see you again on the playground. Wishing you your best life ever.
Stay blessed, stay golden, and remember, you were made for this golden life.
All right, and as always, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste and Nama go. All right, then. Till next time, we'll see you on the playground. All right, we'll be talking to you real soon.